Hey, podcast listener, are you a hacker, techie, nerd, investor, founder, or ever wanted to get into this world? Join TechCrunch for its annual Disrupt conference in San Francisco, featuring the luminaries who aren't only making the rules in technology, but changing the game. Get a first look at startups disrupting machine learning, mobility, healthcare, robotics, and more, and hear from the world's leading investors and innovators. Visit TechCrunch.com and use promo code SPREAKER. That's SPREAKER for an exclusive discount.
I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and you are listening to No BS Job Search Advice Radio, episode 1199. Welcome. Now, before I forget, I recorded this show a while ago, like a couple of years ago was the original recording. And since the time I did this, I no longer do recruiting. And the video I mentioned in the show is now called Live Q&A, helping you play the game big. JobSearchTV.com. So live Q&A, helping you play the game big. That should be enough to find it. And I'll just simply say, this is a live coaching session I did with someone that I was able to do by video at a time when video platforms really were not prevalent. Hope you find this helpful. Please give it a great review. But the notion of this show is stop listening to so many people who are telling you that you're doing it wrong. And if you listen to a lot of the business podcasts where they interview billionaires, I'm telling you, most of them will tell a story about how everyone told them they were doing it wrong. And let's get going.
When I think of job hunting, frankly, it's like walking into a casino for most of you and sitting down at the tables. You don't know the rules, and thus you're easy pickings for the casino. Even if you do know how to play the rules, most of the time, the casino is going to make money on you no matter what. So understand the way job hunting is stacked right now. You're playing a game that's rigged against you. So what can you do? Well, obviously you can refuse to comply, but you'll eventually get chewed up by the system. You can refuse to comply by refusing to apply for a job through an applicant tracking system until you've spoken to a hiring manager. Easy way to do it on your own. But the real thing is about attitude. See, the attitude that you've been instilled with is the one of being the compliant employee and fitting in and doing what's demanded of you every step along the way to the point where you're a little cube and you're being fitted in amongst other cubes. In job hunting, ideally, from your vantage point, it's best to learn what the rules are and then play your own game. I'll give you an example from sports. Football teams, basketball teams, baseball teams, there are lots of set plays that are involved. There are all sorts of situations that they practice in order to be able to put themselves in the position to execute the basic game plan, right? But there's a lot of creativity and originality within those frameworks. So you need to find the place where organizations respect you and your unique way of doing things. If you want to be a drone, by all means, do it. You can, have, messages piped into your head all day about being compliant, doing what your work, what's demanded of you. Shut up and do what we tell you, and don't have any original thought. Or you can do things in your particular way and be sought out by firms. You see, LinkedIn is one of the greatest tools that we have in our modern times because it allows firms to reach out to you and for you to call more of the shots. Remember, they're hunting for talent. If they want a person to fit into a box, that doesn't mean you want to fit into a box, does it? So I want you to think in terms of a race. And the race is, the finish line is the end of your career. How do you want to run that race? Do you know, what could happen along the way? Do you know between where you are now and the finish line, how to get there? If you don't, you need to learn real quickly. I'll give you an example. I was doing an online coaching call on blab.im last night. It's on YouTube. No BS Coaching, Play Your Game Big. It's the first one with that title. There'll be more coming up. But at the end of the day, this person wanted to move in a direction in their career a little bit different than the obvious path. And I spoke about informational interviews. And he said, yeah, I had one scheduled. I said, how about 5? How about 10? Because you can't just take one person's viewpoint for how to get to the finish line. And even if their viewpoint is right, maybe it isn't right for you. One thing I've learned over the course of years in in recruiting is that everything works in job search. Never works as well as we would like or as often as we would like. But at the end of the day, everything works. Well, you may get turned down for a bunch of jobs, but eventually you'll find one that really fits you and fits your drive and fits your ambition and fits the kind of career goals that you have. Run the race your particular way. Don't worry about what recruiters like me might tell you. I don't really do that kind of nonsense like most of them do, but a lot of recruiters will tell you, you're doing it all wrong. Terrible mistake you're making. Because they're not going to make a fee. Your job isn't to make the recruiter the fee. Your job isn't to make the corporate recruiter happy. Your job is to make yourself happy. Don't sell out your own ambitions for what a company wants.
So that's today's show. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, here are a few ways that I can help you. First of all, you can hire me to coach you throughout your job search in every way imaginable. That includes a resume and or LinkedIn profile critique, interview preparation, helping you with a salary negotiation and or networking, answering your questions about your job search, giving you advice about a decision you have to make once you have the offer. We can work in 30-minute or 1-hour increments throughout your search. And the easiest way to talk with me about it is by connecting with me at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. Mention that you listen to the show. I just like knowing that I'm helping folks. And once we're connected, message me that you're interested in coaching. We'll do a free discovery conversation with one another. If you're not interested in coaching and you just have a few questions, the easiest way to do it is by reaching out to me through the Magnify app for iOS. That's Magnify with an I. Or if you don't have an iOS device, if you're an Android user or you just want to call me on the phone, do it through PrestoExperts.com, where I'm a career coach and job search expert. For those of you who've been listening to the show, you know that I always talk about JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. And recently, we've been changing the focus of the site to really emphasize interviewing and answering tough interview questions. If you join, you'll have access to curated information that you can watch, listen to, or read that's designed to help you find work more quickly, as well as videos and podcasts and other information. Again, an emphasis on interviewing and answering tough interview questions. You can also take my classes on Skillshare and become a premium member using the link in the show notes and get 2 months for free instead of the 1 month that the site offers. And the last thing I want to mention to you is schedule me for lunch. I do it at 12:30 most days, and for now I'm making myself available Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for lunch at 12:30 Eastern Time. We'll meet over Zoom and be able to see one another. You bring something to eat, or if it's early for you, very simply bring some coffee with you. We'll sit and talk for 45 minutes. I'll answer your questions. That's less for $175. That's less than what I charge for comparable time for my coaching. So again, reach out to me through LinkedIn and we'll schedule a time for lunch. Have a great day. Take care.
You sit at a desk. They sit at a desk. You have sales reports. They have book reports. You need supplies. They need supplies. Business is a lot like school. That's why your small business should take advantage of back-to-school deals at Staples. Now, Staples 1-inch 3-ring binders are $1.92. One subject notebooks are just 25 cents, and 2 pocket poly folders are just 35 cents each. Make back to school your business at Staples.
In-store only while supplies last. Offer ends 9/1/18, limit 30.
Hey, podcast listener. Are you a hacker, techie, nerd, investor, founder, or ever wanted to get into this world? Join TechCrunch for its annual Disrupt conference in San Francisco, featuring the luminaries who aren't only making the rules in technology, but changing the game. Get a first look at startups disrupting machine learning, mobility, healthcare, robotics, and more, and hear from the world's leading investors and innovators. Visit TechCrunch.com and use promo code SPREAKER. That's SPREAKER for an exclusive discount.